Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Aquí tienen el horario para hoy, martes el 12 de diciembre. Your final exam is next class. On Thursday, we will do the reading, listening, and writing portion of the final. Some of you will do the speaking section on Thursday. The rest of you who do not do it on Thursday will do it on the designated day of the final, which is Wednesday, December 20th for 5th and 6th period, and Thursday, December 21st for 7th and 8th period. Here's a copy of your study guide outlining all the chapters that we've covered and the key terms and concepts associated with each. This is going to be the basis of the reading comprehension and listening comprehension sections of the final, both of which are multiple choice questions. So go through those chapters, go through the key terms and concepts that are outlined in the study guide. The page numbers refer to the page numbers in the textbook, and any accompanying notes that you may have as well, it would be behoove of you guys to review. The second section of the study guide covers the writing and speaking portions. For the writing section, you have 6 optional writing prompts to choose from. Of those 6, you are responsible to answer 3 incomplete sentences in Spanish. We've gone over what these questions are asking and how to respond. Refer to those notes. Moreover, these are all questions that you have answered throughout the semester in warm-up questions, in oral presentations, and whatnot. This note section is for you to produce any example responses. Today we'll be studying, and you're more than welcome to show me any notes that you may have that you would like me to review after you've done peer review with a partner. The speaking section has 10 questions to choose from. Of those 10 questions, you're responsible to answer 5. Of those 5 questions, you pick the first 3, and then I will choose the last 2 that you answer. You can get 1 point for the correct use of vocabulary and 1 point for the correct use of grammar. All of these questions we've gone over together. We've done speed dating on 2 occasions. We will not do speed dating today. I'll give you the opportunity to practice with a partner that you're comfortable with seated next to you. That study guide you guys can find on Canvas. If you guys go to modules and all the way down to the very bottom, there is a study guide at the very end of chapter 2A. And that's where you can find that. Today we're going to review the notes that we went over on Tuesday regarding the present tense of AR verbs. We're going to cover a little bit of page 82 and subject pronouns. We've kind of indirectly included these in our work together this semester, but subject pronouns essentially indicate who is doing the action, who essentially or what is the subject of a sentence. Subject pronouns in English are I, you, he, she, we, and they, as we use in English to tell who's doing the action. The equivalent of those in Spanish is yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, and nosotras, the difference being gender, masculine and feminine. Vosotros and vosotras are used only in Spain when you're talking to more than one person, you plural. In Latin America, we use ustedes when we're referring to more than one person, talking to more than one person, the you plural form. So use ustedes and not vosotros for our class. And then ellos and ellas refer to them or they. Ellos being masculine plural and ellas being feminine plural. Again, Tú is used predominantly with family and friends. Casually, informally, tú, meaning you. Usted also means you, but it's used with adults, people older than you, or to someone that has a particular social standing, such as a teacher to whom you would want to demonstrate respect toward, as is customary in many cultures. Latin America, again, as we talked about a moment ago, we use ustedes when we're speaking to two or more people, regardless of age. In Spain, they use vosotros when you're talking to more than one person. But again, that's not applicable to our situation, as again, it's only used in Spain. That's in Europe, not pertaining to Latin America. So if we do a little bit of practice on the next page, which subject pronouns would you use for these subjects? Which subject pronouns is highlighted on page 82 would you use for these subjects 1 through 6? I'll give you a moment to do this exercise on your own, and I'll provide you the correct answers. Correct answers for exercise 11. Number 1, Carlos would be él, he. Number 2, Felipe and yo would be nosotros, we. Number 3, Maria and Sarita would be ellas, they. Number 4, Pablo, Tomás, y Anita would be ellos, they. And when you have mixed gender, we always use the masculine plural form. Number 5, El Señor Trevino would be either usted or él. Usted if you're talking to him politely, or él if you're talking about him. And then finally, number 6, tú, Esteban would be ustedes, because you're talking to someone or some people, in this case, you and Esteban, directing a question to two people. Exercise 12, tú, usted, or ustedes. Which form of you would you use for these subjects? Again, tú is you, informal or casual. Usted is you, formal or polite, and both of these are for singular subjects when you're just talking to one person. Ustedes is you, plural, and it is used when you're talking to two or more people. So number 1 would probably be usted. Number 2 would likely be tú, somewhat of a similar age to you. 3 would be usted, to show respect. 4 would be ustedes, to a group of people. 5 would be usted, to demonstrate respect. 6 would be ustedes, talking to a group of people. 7 would be tú, talking to a young fella. And then 8 would be usted, talking to an older gentleman. The grammar we began to go over on Friday, we're going to quickly touch up on again. And that is the conjugations of regular AR verbs in the present tense. We talked about how infinitives, earlier in the semester, we talked about how infinitives have any one of 3 endings, AR, ER, and IR. Verb endings, rather, as you can see highlighted here on page 84, always indicate who is doing the action. They indicate, for example, who is speaking if we're using the verb hablar. And the endings in each of those forms are o, has, ha, hamos, han. Yo hablo, o, in the yo form. Tú hablas, has, in the tú form. Él, ella, usted habla. He, she, or you polite speaks. A, in the él, ella, usted form. Ambos, in the nosotros form. Nosotros hablamos, we speak. Vosotros, you can skip, as that's used only in Spain. Instead, we use ustedes in Latin America when we're talking to more than one person, you plural. And ellos and ellas all share the ending an. Ellos hablan. Ustedes hablan. So if we do exercise 14 on page 85, we're using the verb estudiar, which is a regular AR verb, just like the verb hablar. And we're going to conjugate estudiar the same way as you can see on page 84, estudiar would change to yo estudio, to say I study. Tú estudias, to say you study. Él, ella, usted estudia, to say he or she or you formal studies. Nosotros estudiamos, to say we study. And then ellos, ellas, ustedes estudian, to say you all study or they study. So let's apply that knowledge to exercise 14. For exercise 14, you're taking a look at the pictures, utilizing your vocab from this chapter, chapter 2a in your class schedule, and talking about what these individuals study, conjugating the verb estudiar according to the subject, such as in the example, Tomás estudia, right? Tomás, él estudia, and then the class would be música. So I'll pause, let you work on this, and then we'll go over the correct answers. Number 1, Laura, ella estudia matemáticas. Laura estudia matemáticas. Number 2, Josefina, Elena y yo. That's Josefina, Elena, and I. Nosotros estudiamos arte. Nosotros estudiamos arte. Or ladies, technically it would be nosotras, because that would be all feminine. So either way, nosotros or nosotras estudiamos arte. 2, estudias. Tú estudias inglés. Number 3, Catalina y José. That would be a plural subject talking about them. Catalina y José, ellos estudian español. Number 5, Joaquín y tú. You and Joaquín. So you're talking to a group of people, plural. Ustedes estudian. Ustedes estudian tecnología. And then finally, yo estudio. Yo estudio historia, or historia mundial. There's a PowerPoint that you'll find on Canvas that'll walk you through the conjugations, and I would recommend that you go through that PowerPoint as well. That will help you very much. But outside of exercise 14, and then on the previous pages 11 and 12, that's just practice out of the textbook, nothing that you need to submit in Canvas, nothing that you need to submit at all for Thursday. The only homework for Thursday would be to study for your final exam.